Welcome back, everyone. At this time, I would stand and say the pledge. Just take a brief moment just to remember 9/11 tomorrow. Thank you. So the first order of business tonight, we can have a motion to approve the August 13, 2019 and August 27, 2019 board minutes. Motion to approve. Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next, the approval of warrants, budget transfers, and wire transfers. Is there a motion?
Yeah, just, I think more of a format thing, I just went through it, and a couple of the items aren't signed for approval, so just from a format standpoint,
Okay.
and there's also, usually there was an email attached saying it was approved, and it wasn't approved on a couple of these, so I don't know if I actually can do this, but just went through it, it's actually not that big.
Thank you, good, everyone appreciate that.
So we're going to take a motion to approve with the changes that will be made this day.
Sorry, can you say that again? If you just look at the report, there's actually, so there was one item, actually two items, for $297,000 that wasn't signed off on by the external auditor. Page 4. And then if you go to the next page, it looks like it was done correctly, signed off on, and this email for the approval as well, which is good. And then just the last two, they don't have the approval email attached to them. I should say, except for the last one does have it.
The last two are, have just the same, not being matching.
And
Right.
just make sure the one gets signed.
Yeah.
Thank you, so the backup has to be fixed. Thank you.
We're going to have a motion to approve with the corrected backup.
Yes.
Do we have a motion? Motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Okay, and I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Cynthia. Thank you.
Good evening, welcome back. We've spoken at our last two meetings about our wonderful summer programs. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Deputy Superintendent, Mrs. Friedman, who will facilitate the presentation of all the programs that we had this summer.
Tom, I'm going to give you that. Tom?
Yes.
It was very busy in North America this summer. There were a lot of very, very rich programs going on, and actually one of the best things about the summer in North America was choice, and how wonderful it was for families and children and parents to have choices. We had a theater program, we had a Spanish program, we had a music program, we had a reading program, we had a recreational program, we had a science program. We're going to just take about 5 or 6 minutes to walk you through this summer to give you a few of the highlights, but it was indeed spectacular. So if we start, if we go to the next slide, Mrs. Talbot ran a beautiful camp invention program here. And unfortunately, she's not able to be here tonight. It's back to school night for her little girl. But our camp invention, which included children from Merrick as well. As you may know, the Merrick program at Merrick schools were somewhat confined this summer due to some construction. So we were able to open our doors and welcome Merrick students. We had 160 campers in the two-week program, 2-week program, 16 leadership interns, and 23 leaders in training. And the children were involved, just to name a few. They journeyed journeyed through space and created their own exoplanet. They solved mysteries from the deep sea. They launched and created rockets, designed snowball catchers. They took apart a broken device and then put it back together again to create some sort of an alarm system. These are just a few examples. Launched a duct tape accessories business, that sounds pretty cool, and created a UV light circuit to read invisible ink. And not a day went by, and that was in this building, and we had the luxury of seeing the wonder every single day as the children interacted with each other and with these very, very rich materials. So we take our hats off to the interns, the teachers, the leaders in training, and to Mrs. Talbot for really facilitating a wonderful program. I'm going to ask Mrs. Marciano right now if she would come up and talk a little bit about the program that she directed. Is this your third year, Jess?
Yes.
Third year directing the Scope Recreation Program.
Hi, I'm Jessica Marciano. I'm an art teacher at this school and at the school. And this is our third year doing the school program. And what we decided to do, we sort of went with the summer rec model because that's what the school district had previously, and that program had ended. So the first year we had a summer rec program. The second year was a lot bigger. The second year we had 127 kids. Our first year we had 105. And our third year, we had 173 kids for the whole 4 weeks. And we added an enrichment component where the teachers all picked something that they were interested in and comfortable teaching. And the children all did an enrichment for an hour within the classroom. And then they worked in other groups with other teachers. They had a phys ed teacher there, an art teacher, we had a music teacher. We had a yoga program. Kids they really liked it. And everybody went to each area every other day. So it was on an 8 day system. And we had high school and college students from this area as well as surrounding towns working with us, teachers from the school district and several other districts. All of our staff, basically, except for 1 or 2 people, have returned every year. So it makes me feel that people were comfortable with the program. I'm very happy. I really enjoyed doing it. Mrs. English joined us this year. She had a really good time. And we hope we can continue to keep the numbers because we had a really nice program. And Scope is very supportive of us. Whatever we want to do, they really are there to help us out. Thank you.
Scope and Camp Invention were programs that we offered, but they were at no expense to us. And we didn't charge Scope or Camp Invention, so we were able to help Scope and Camp Invention keep the tuition down. This was not a money-making opportunity for us. It was really a way for us to offer some rich program for our children. But we're going to skip to the next one right now. I'm going to actually ask Mr. Merrick to come up to talk about our social literacy program. And the next few programs that you're going to hear about were actually run through BOCES. So we'll talk a little bit more about how we benefited by running these programs through BOCES. And we sort of provided the in-kind support.
Good evening, everyone. And through the support of our Board of Education, we once again had the Early Childhood Literacy Program. These are children who are now in grades 1, 2, or 3. These children will need intensive reading support. We use different kinds of data, such as the FUP benchmark and the NWEA. Children are selected by the data. We send home parent letters. Parents sign up. We're very fortunate to have 4 wonderful teachers working in our program. Mrs. Greenberg, Mrs. Jensen, Mrs. Rodriguez, and Ms. Bernstein. Now, Ms. Bernstein last year worked in Oceanside, and through our good fortune, she was available and we were able to hire her. And by seeing her in action over the summer, we knew this was someone who was a really great teacher. And we're very fortunate to have her in Dr. Bromberg's school, Camp Avenue. The children benefited from intensive instruction, 15 sessions, 1 hour, strong instruction by our terrific teachers, whether it be phonics, awareness, a little comprehension. It's very, very important to have this kind of program because we are concerned about regression and so on. So your kindness, and thank you to the board, we're able to have this program again. And as Ms. Freeman said, we associate ourselves with BOCES, so they did a lot of the paperwork and so on. And that really helped out, and they're very supportive. They let us do our thing. They are very complimentary. They're pleased with what has gone on. And I have to say thank you to administration, to Central, and our board for a terrific experience and letting me run this program.
And
Thank you.
The prior two programs, of course, parents pay tuition for. The programs that we're speaking about now are programs that we offered. We ran them through BOCES. Parents did not pay to participate in these courses. So by running them through BOCES, we're permitted to get aid back. So that if a program, we're about a 70 or an 80% aid ratio. So next year, we see that money back for us to actually use again. So I'm going to introduce you now to Mrs. Maria Castle, who, just to give you a little bit of background, Mrs. Castle, in pursuit of her degree in administration and supervision, actually took on one of the summer programs about 2 years ago as part of her internship. She worked with Dr. Murphy with the summer program and has really has helped the programs grow and develop and expand. And since now she has come back, and she actually not only is the director of the extended school year program, but the music program, the theater program, the Spanish program, what am I leaving out? There are so many.
That might be it.
And one that sort of snuck in at the end, which we'll tell you about, which is the math
Oh, yes.
program. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take you, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. I have the privilege of working with many wonderful programs that North Merrick offers this summer. And the first one I'm going to talk a little bit about is the Extended School Year Program. The Extended School Year Program, we ran 3 classes for 6 weeks, Monday through Friday during the summer. And it's just as it says, it's an extended school year. The programs allow the children to come to school and keep the continuity of a school schedule. It allows them to maintain skills that they acquired throughout the school year, so that, when they come back in September, they're right where they should be or even ahead of the game. So those skills can be academic skills, social, emotional, behavioral skills. They came to school every morning, they're like little rays of sunshine. It was so nice to see them every day coming in smiling. The teachers are wonderful with them. They not only do academics, they work with each other. There's a lot of peer interaction. The children are able to work in cooperative groups. In social situations, they go out to the playground. They learn how to take turns. There's a lot of modeling going on with them. In addition to all those wonderful things, they are also able to maintain speech services or any other services that they may get during the school year. So overall, it's a wonderful program. The teachers are great. The kids really enjoy themselves, and it's a pleasure to see them each year. So that was one of the programs that we ran, and that's the longest running program. It's a 6-week program, and again, Monday through Friday. So we can go to the next one.
That program, actually, Dr. Murphy, that program runs through the school district because there's a different source of funding, again, for that as well, which we have.
Now, our summer Spanish Academy was back very popular to me, and that is a program that we work with BOCES on, as Mrs. Freeman was saying earlier. So our Spanish program ran again this summer, where children were able to take Spanish either for the first time or even as in a more advanced setting. Mr. Oakley's wonderful. He's able to, tier lessons a little bit, and he's very interactive. When you walk through his classrooms, he's very often using technology, he's using foods. The kids are painting, or they're on the floor drawing, outlines of their body to learn body parts. He really tries to teach, uses pop culture, literature, as I said, technology. This year he created family trees in Spanish so that children can learn how to say, different family members, names and how to address them in Spanish. They studied Mexican artists who did self-portraits and uses nature and artifacts to inspire the work. So the children made self-portraits and studied that artist as well. They used a lot of computer animation, and they made little mini piñatas, and they studied, some of the culture in Spanish-speaking countries. So it's really a wonderful program. And again, every time you walk in, the kids are busy doing things. They're never just sitting there. They're always actively engaged. So that was a very fun program as well this summer that we ran. That was a 4-week program, Monday through Thursday. You can go to the next one. We
did our summer music program, which is very popular and just a joy to listen to. Mr. Brunson's here tonight. He ran our summer band program. Mr. Beck ran he likes to call it summer string, summer orchestra, which was a lot of fun. It's really such a nice program. Again, the kids get to maintain their skills and probably even advance their skills because it's small group settings. They're able to work as an ensemble or in very small group lessons, which is so nice. And they come 4 days a week for 4 weeks and they put on a concert at the end of 4 weeks. That sounds like they've been practicing all year. So it's really just phenomenal. You know, I believe orchestra did 4 songs and band did 4 songs. It was like a full-fledged concert after 4 weeks. So it was very fun and the kids are fabulous. So it was another wonderful program that we ran this year, and they did do a performance at the end of the 4 weeks. And new this year was our theater program. We were very fortunate. We found a wonderful teacher, Ms. Cavalier. She was animated and fun. The kids loved it. One kid came accidentally, I think, on the first day and decided they loved it and just ended up staying and recommended it to his friends. So they studied many things. They did a lot of improv. They studied musical theater. They studied all kinds of different kinds of acting techniques. And then Ms. Cavalier worked with them to try to get them to write an original script, which they ended up doing. They ended up, it was like a takeoff on the 3 little kids, but the kids all wrote their own versions of it, and then they collaborated and they decided which parts would fit together the best. So when they actually did their production on August 1st, again, after only 4 weeks, they actually acted out a play that they, in part wrote themselves. So it was really amazing, and hopefully we'll have it back again. And I think it'll be even more popular next year. It was really very well received. And Math and Movement was something that was fabulous this summer, and a little bit different. So Merrick hosted a professional development summer institute. It was a 3.5-day institute it ran at Old Mill Road after the school, just after I think the school program ended. And it provided teachers from across New York State, Long Island, New York City, and even as far as Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. Teachers came from all over, and they stayed for 3.5 days locally, and they attended the workshop, and it was really just fabulous and well received. And we worked with Math and Movement, and Math and Movement allows children to learn math skills. It's not only math, but math skills, and while they're moving and engaged and jumping around and using multisensory approaches. So the Institute itself for the professionals, for all the educators, included theory, application, and a lot of breakout sessions where they also had great keynote speakers and mentors that they could learn from. We also, as a result of hosting the program, Math and Movement coordinated a summer camp for North American children that was available to North American children. So about 30 children participated. They got T-shirts, and they were engaged in activities that were really individually based, like individualized instruction. So, for example, if they were in 2nd grade going to 3rd grade, then they worked on maths that were going to get them ready with pre-multiplication skills. So it was really fabulous. Lots of great parent feedback from it. Merrick was able to provide the space and the technology and all the resources, and Math and Movement was very appreciative and was able to give Old Mill Road and our district some maths that we could use with all the children, which is nice. So that was something very different this summer and well received. So it was very busy, and I'm happy to report everything went well, and hopefully we'll be back next summer.
Great, thank you, Maria. While all that was going on, Math and Movement and Scope were over at Old Mill Road, and all the other programs were here. This is just a sample of the curriculum projects that our teachers are working on over the summer. So we'll come back to you at another point in time to report out on some of that work, but they were working on our Enrichment for All, which Ms. Marciana sort of, a little bit you told about your scope, where there was that Enrichment for All piece, and that's something we're moving into this year. We'll be talking about that later on, where teachers are actually going to be working, just as you said, on sort of a passion with children. We did science mapping. There was some on collaborative teaching. We're piloting Envisions Math, so teachers got together and rolled up their sleeves with that. Our mental health curriculum, our teamwork, our guidance program. And that, as I said, that's just a sample of some of the work that our teachers did over the summer. So school was out, but we were busy.
Thank you, Mrs. Fried. Friedman. And thank you to all the staff. Kept us moving all summer long. What an amazing summer. I don't know many districts who offer as many offerings as we do, and we definitely run the gamut. So we have a little surprise. It's always nice to have a surprise at a board meeting. First of all, a big happy birthday to my Deputy Superintendent, Mrs. Friedman. Where else would you want to spend your birthday? For all of us. Also, Ms. Marciana, interestingly enough, described herself as an art teacher when she came forward in the presentation, and that doesn't even do you justice. Ms. Jessica Marciana received tenure before I arrived, but it was never she was never honored or acknowledged, and we would like to do that tonight. So if you would please come forward to the dais. I know Mrs. Friedman has something to read about you, but I just wanted to say, please don't ever just say you're an art teacher. You inspire not only students, but adults each and every day, and you motivate us, and you make a subject that can be very scary to those people that do not consider themselves artists, and they embrace the subject, and they also embrace you. It is a pleasure to work with you each and every day.
Jessica, you are a very dedicated teacher who has worked, as Dr. Simiak said, in many different capacities serving our children in North Merrick. Although we're here tonight to recognize your being tenured in visual arts, we do note that you began your successful North Merrick career as an ELL teacher, helping our English language learners acquire fluency in English. Within your art classroom, you teach our children how to make art. However, you teach our children art history, art theory, art interpretation. You skillfully differentiate your lessons to provide opportunities for children of all levels to step into the shoes of Picasso, Degas, Andy Warhol, just to name a few. In addition to your work in the art room, you've mentored new art teachers, you've mentored new ELL teachers, you facilitated the after-school art club, you've worked with numerous sixth grade art crews in support of our theater arts production. You served as student council advisor, began the very first Old Mill Road Crochet Club, was the assistant to the principal, clearly directed the scope of summer program, and you continue to be the Old Mill Road PTA teacher representative. You're always willing to do more. You provide the PTA with artwork for special functions. You create caricature for our retirees, design character education bulletin boards for all 3 schools, frame and hang student artwork in the boardroom, and you even come in at just a moment's notice on your days off to do anything that anyone might need. Jess, thank you for all you do each and every day. You have certainly earned your tenure. We're all very happy for you and your family. On behalf of Mrs. Ludesdorf and the board and Dr. Semiak and everyone here, we congratulate you on this well-deserved honor.
Congratulations. So welcome back again. Our opening of school went very well. We were lucky to have amazing weather that day. It was nice to see all the students. I'd say about 99.9% of them were smiling. We had a few criers, but they were smiling by the end of the day, that's for sure. We had Assemblyman Dave McDonough. He visited Fayette School and welcomed our parents and our students. We had the Herald also make some rounds and take some pictures. And overall, I think that the opening of school went very well, and I'd like to thank parents and staff and the Board of Education for the support as we begin our new year. A couple of surprises this year. Our Old Mill Road gymnasium floor will be replaced. Mr. Carter's going to probably talk a little bit about that later. So our gym at Old Mill Road will be closed for approximately 5 to 6 weeks. There was a leak in the crawl space. He will definitely get into the details. The good part is that the insurance company is covering it. We will get a brand new gym floor, and it was in the best interest of the students to do the repair now because they can't use it, but at least it's nice out for the physical education classes to go outside. And if the weather is inclement, they can then do mindfulness activities in a classroom setting. So we have Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. Also at Old Mill Road, the water heater sprung a leak last night, and we are looking at a resolution this evening for the Board of Education to pass so that we can immediately get that fixed beginning tomorrow. So Old Mill Road is a hopping. We are proud to announce that we hired a guidance counselor this year, part-time. A communication went out to the 6th grade parents. I believe it was this morning about 9:30. The role of the guidance counselor is basically to work with our 6th grade students and do FaceTime with them and sit and have individual meetings with them and start to begin a career path. Talk to them about what careers may interest them, what do they see themselves doing in the future, and that starts to be tracked on a program called Naviance. Now, I know a lot of people sitting here have high school students. Naviance is the program which basically follows a student throughout their secondary years as they prepare for their post-secondary experience at a college. And by bringing it down to 6th grade, it allows our students to get a jump on that. And the guidance council will be sharing that information through the building principals with parents and students by going into the classes. And that is a big part of what the guidance council will be doing in the classroom. Also, our guidance council will be sitting on our advisory committee. I believe they met, Dr. Murphy, 2 days ago you met. Was it last week already? Wow. Last Wednesday, and her name is Rebecca Mantle, and she did sit there, and she's also working with us to finalize our guidance plan, as well as working with students on their career paths. We have our back to school evening on this Thursday coming up. It's on the calendar. We look forward to parents coming and meeting their child's classroom teachers, so make sure that nobody forgets to come. We have a little bit of a change in security this year in the sense that they are manning, so to speak, the front doors and the arrival procedures. Our door monitors have been reassigned to new responsibilities, and the security guards will be making sure that as visitors enter the vestibules, which are fully completed now, the licenses will be scanned, and there will be intercom communication between the visitor and the security guard at the front desk to ensure that the person that is looking to enter the